All right, so now that we have established how basic stuff in the SSL works, so we have a basic understanding of how SSL works, and we have seen examples on how SSL traffic looks like. And keep in mind, I'm using SSL as a like short for SSL and TLS, so I mean both things when I say SSL. So now that we have seen that, now we can dig a little bit further into how to actually start decrypting that traffic. So as I said earlier, there are two methods. One of them is stealing or getting the private key from the server and importing it into Wireshark. The other one is getting the session key from the client. So if we start by looking into the first one, first method, well, what we need to do is we need to get hold of that private key. The private key is normally stored inside of the server. It should be very well protected there, so it is one of the most valuable assets you have on the server, so normally it's pretty well protected in there. You shouldn't be able to get it from any other server than the ones you administer. But if you should have access to that, then you can import that key into Wireshark, and then you can start decrypting the traffic there. So I have like here how you do it, and let's do it together and have a look. I've created a virtual machine for the purpose. It is specifically configured for me to be able to do that, and I'll of course put comments in the slides on what you need to do in order for it to work. I'll also mention it here in a minute. But let's have a look at that server first of all. So the server, which is over here, just go into it. There it is. So it is a normal Ubuntu that I have specifically configured for this purpose. So I've set up a Apache server here, and I have created a self-signed key. So you can see here there is a certificate file. Remember, certificate file contains the public key, so that's what we share. And then there is the key file, which is like the private key, which we keep secret. So if I have access to this one, then I should be able to import it into Wireshark, and I should be able to decrypt the traffic. So the other thing is, in order for this to work, I had to disable a lot of ciphers, so that the server does not support a lot of ciphers anymore. It only supports a few. So everywhere, so you can see here, these are the settings for the cipher suite, so what ciphers we support, and every time there is an asterisk in front of it, it means that the algorithm is not supported. So everywhere it says DH, that stands for Diffie-Hellman, so that's disabled. You can see the only ones enabled are the ones down here. So that you'll have to downgrade the security on the server in order to do that. But I guess you might find servers still running with some old settings where you can do that without having to downgrade it anyway. So this is the setting I put on the server here, and I have the keys here inside of this folder. So what I'll do now is I'll export this key, apache.key, into my Wireshark and add the option there. Before doing that, let's have a look at what the page looks like. So I'll just need to get the IP address here, so like this. So that's the IP address I'll need to access from inside of my browser. Let me start Wireshark, and then we can actually go on from there and do the capture. So Wireshark here, and I will open the browser as well in a minute, but I'll first select the interface, so that's the interface for the virtual machine. You need to capture on the right interface. So if you're capturing on your Wi-Fi, that's the one. If you have multiple interfaces, you need to select the right one. So since this is running on a virtual machine, I need to select this one for my connection. So I'll select this one here. So what I'll do next is I will visit that server from my browser and see how it reacts in HTTP and HTTPS, and then we'll try to decrypt the traffic from there. So first of all, I'll have to start my my Wireshark. So bear in mind that we are now looking at a virtual machine, so I need to pick out the correct interface. So this is the interface that I'll be doing the capture on. This is the one for the VMware virtual machine that I have installed. So that's the one I'll be doing the capture on. Before I did it on the Wi-Fi, now I'm doing it on this one here. So I'll start my capture device here, and now it's capturing for all kind of different stuff, and some of it will be noise, but we'll make sure to discover the correct thing that we need. So first I'll try to visit the HTTP web page on my machine here. So I'll visit more specifically the index page, and you can see that it runs like ordinary ordinary HTTP without the SSL here. So that's because that's what I entered in the browser. It doesn't default to HTTPS. So I'll restart this again, and now we'll try to revisit it with HTTPS in the browser. So in Chrome, I'll run HTTPS like this, and now you can see here that it changed to HTTPS. So now it's SSL all the way. I'll stop it here, and you can see that the browser actually gives a warning. So it shows up red here saying not secure, not secure, and that's because we are getting a warning on this certificate being self-signed. I didn't get it signed by anyone, so that's why it's saying insecure. But if we look closely inside of the capture, we can see that we are getting like the client hello, back and forth, server hello, certificate being sent, and we can see that there is the application data there, which is encrypted. So the application data here corresponds to the text that we have inside of the browser here. So that is what is actually encrypted. So that's the HTML content that is encrypted here, together with the rest of the HTTP headers. So that works, you can say. Let's try to enter the key now in order for us to be able to decrypt the information which is located here.